suggest? I want to suggest that when these needs don't get met in a positive way, they are so important that our children will try to get them met in a negative way. Why do kids join gangs? Man, they want to be respected. They want to be loved. And if I can't get it in a positive way, I want it so bad that even if I know that you're giving it to me in a negative way, because I want it so bad, I will accept it in a negative way because it's just that important. How to explain these girls that keep going back to these guys? You know, this always used to, and when I went to women prisons, I'll never forget, because I would go and the guy was like, okay, be careful, because you know, we have women in here that have done some things. Well, you know, just what are some of the things they've done? Well, one threw hot grease on her husband. I said, what? Yeah, one of them, her husband was asleep. She took a knife and just kept stabbing, just kept, what? Okay, there's gonna be some guards in there, right? Like, yeah, you get that they're the nicest women, but here's what happened though. They were with a guy, and she gave her whole heart to him, and he just kept breaking her heart, breaking her heart, breaking her heart. And so I finally asked, I said, well, why do you stay with a guy when you know how he's gonna treat you? And they'll say, well, at least he'll say he loves me, and at least he'll come. They need that. They want to be loved so bad that even though they knew he didn't mean it, at least he said it. That's how powerful this is, to make sure that the children we serve, these needs that are in white, they are being met in a positive way. Because again, if we don't meet these needs in a positive way, they'll get them. How many of you have seen a child whose mother went to jail, father went to jail, big brother went to jail, but this kid made it? Anybody seen that kid? On the flip side, how many of you have seen a child whose mother was degreed? I mean, mother and father got more degrees than a thermometer. I mean, everybody's successful, but this child fell through the cracks. Anybody seen that child? So what you just told me, you can't determine a child's future by their present decisions. Because children can change. So if a child can change, I have to treat every child like they won't be left behind. Because if we can keep giving them this on a daily basis, the switch might flip. And they might begin to respond to the positive way we're trying to meet these needs. Here's what I'm saying. Some of the adults in their lives, we're not going to get them online. We're not. It's just not going to happen. But what if they can start looking at you as that positive adult role model? And some kids do. That's why let me ask you another question. You taught a kid or mentored a kid a couple years ago, and that kid went on and did great things in high school, college, or when they got a job, and they came back to tell you. Anybody that ever happened to? You know why? Because they know you care. Because they know. And some of y'all got on those kids so bad. I mean, y'all were hard on those kids. But they understood that it was love. And I'm going to tell you this, love is colorblind. You can be a Caucasian woman, 40 years old, from the country of Idaho, and work in inner city Dallas. Now, it might mess your head up. But if you love those kids, that love is colorblind. Here's the issue. And you know, Steve and I were talking about it earlier. It is not a racial issue. It is a socioeconomic issue. And in our society, there are three classes of people. There's a lower class, middle class, and upper class. See, me, I grew up in the lower class, and here's what that means. Like take eating, for example. When we ate, the question was not how did it taste. The question was, did you get enough? Did you get enough? And in my house, you either ate what was put on the table, or you didn't. And let me tell you how my mama did sometimes. Sometimes my mama, you know, they don't make the Crisco in the cans anymore. How many of y'all remember Crisco? And when you finish cooking the grease, you just, yeah, right. And you can't mix the fish grease in the chicken, right. And see, my mama had a bad habit of using the grease just a little bit too long. And if you use it too long, it just burn the chicken. But we still had to eat that burnt chicken. So I just put a whole bunch of hot sauce on it, get a piece of bread, the black part, some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Just take the black part off and eat. Because the question was, did you get enough? In the middle class, the question was, how did it taste? Did it taste? If it didn't taste good, baby, you ain't got to eat it. See, I grew up in the lower class. My wife grew up in the middle class. Let me explain what happened one day. We have 4 beautiful children. They got on my nerves for a left, but I still love them. How many of y'all have kids that just argue? Bother me. Anyway, somebody, I need to go to a session.
We'll be editing that out.
So my wife does all the cooking, and it's a good thing because I can't cook. You know, before I got married, I had a closet full of ramen noodles, and that was what I ate. And so my wife is sick, so I said, baby, I got this. You sick? I'm gonna cook. I got you, girl. You just relax. And I'm gonna cook some what was it, baby?
Macaroni and cheese.
She threw my ramen noodles away when we got married. She threw them away. It was macaroni and cheese. You can't mess up macaroni and cheese, right? Like, I cooked the noodles right, and the noodles was cooked. So I thought you just poured the cheese in. I didn't know you had to drain the water. Oh. So I just poured the cheese in and boiled the water out. And so I gave it to the kids, and I said, eat your food. My daughter tasted, ooh. I said, girl, you gonna eat that food. And look, my daughter knew not to mess with me. This is what she said. She said, Mama, you tasted. My wife tasted it. She was like, ooh, I feel better. I will cook. But it's a different value. Where I'm from, I'm telling you, where I'm from, we would have put some hot sauce on it, and we would have ate it. I'm telling you. In the upper class, it's not did you get enough, nor is it how did it taste, it's presentation. You know, doctors make a little bit more money than teachers. So after one of their conferences, they take y'all to eat at a nice restaurant. Now me, I'm a teacher, you know, the restaurants I go to, this is the way I go. When I go to a restaurant, I read from right to left. If the price on the right does not agree with my pocket, I just go down to the next line. So they take me to this restaurant and it doesn't have any prices on it. And I'm like, well, how much does this thing? I'm glad I don't have to pay it because I don't even know how much it costs. But I do see on the left, they have a number like a roast beef was a number 45. And then they had a sirloin steak was a number 62. I was like, that's pretty cool. They just have a number. You tell them the number you want. And so I wanted a T-bone steak because see, at TGI Fridays, a good T-bone steak is, man, that's something for you right there. I just love it. So a good steak is good to me. So I said, I want that T-bone steak. And so I can't wait because I know the steak gonna be good. It's gonna have a big old baked potato with some greens or with some, you know, just good, man. I'm just waiting. You know, so my baked potato come, my T-bone steak come. Now I gotta say, the plate, they didn't get those plates from Target. They didn't. I ain't never seen it. I mean, they had the plate, they weren't circular plates, they were square, look real elegant. But I was wondering where was the rest of my steak because it was, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, if you order a steak, it automatically comes with two sides, don't it? Right. There was no baked potato. I'm like, where the rest of my food at? I was mad, but it did look good because in the upper class, it's all about the way. In the lower class, what's important is respect. That's important. If you disrespect me, it's on. You have lost me for the rest of the year. See. Although I grew up in the lower class, my mama, she had enough sense to know that education was more important than respect. And so she told me, even if you don't like that teacher, you're going to listen to her. Mm-hmm. But the kids we got now, I don't have to listen to you because my mama don't like you. Yeah. Well, I'm going to call your mama. Use my cell phone. And she will tell you she don't like you. That's what we're dealing with. Yeah. So in the lower class, it's about respect. In the middle class, it's education. In the upper class, it's the right education. Mm-hmm. I went to UMHB. Oh, you can't go to UMHB. No, you got to go to the school your father, your grandfather, and his father went to. You have to major in the right. It's just a different norm. One more thing. And it's going to get some of y'all that didn't grow up in the hood like I did. I'm going to show you why your kids act like that. See, if you go in there, the television is going to be loud. And let me tell you why. Because if you want to listen to the television, you got to cut it up louder than the music. Right. Because the music is on too. So the TV up loud because somebody listens to the radio. So if you want to listen to the TV, you got to cut it up louder than the music. And if y'all two talking, and if I want to talk to you, all I have to do is yell louder than her. And if I'm yelling louder than her, I will get your attention, and it's okay. So, and this is fine in my house. When I interrupted her, she didn't get mad because that's how we do what we do. So now I come to school. And y'all two talking. And I say, Miss Stewart. He said, why are you yelling at me, boy? Don't you see him right here? And don't you see him talking? Why are you being disrespectful? First of all, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. But you just disrespected me. And so now it's on. Because it's a different norm. So when I came yelling at you, I wasn't being disrespectful. Where I grew up at, this is how we do what we do. So now the question becomes, how do we influence a change? Because America is ran on middle class norms. Mm-hmm. It is. And here's how. Remember, what what they accept, what they respect is respect. So if I don't first get their respect, I can't challenge them to change. How do I get their respect? Bam. Show them love. You can trust me. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to respect you. You know what I'm saying? This is how we get their heart. And once we have their heart, now we can challenge them to change. But I'm going to tell you what, our discipline code, and I'm all for discipline. But when we send a child an in-school suspension or suspend them, everybody loses. And I know it has to be done sometime. I'm not against it, please understand me. But I'm just saying it has to happen, but when it happens, everybody loses. That's what I'm saying. And again, I'm not saying we don't do it. Y'all see the balance I'm trying to make. You see what I'm saying? The bigger issue is, how do I develop a positive relationship to you so that I can talk to you and get you to understand that when you see two people talking, if you really need to talk to me, you say, excuse me, Ms. Stewart, can I have a minute of your time? That's the way it's got to work. So the question is, who's going to do it? Because mama, she on lower class norms too. Who's going to do it? I'm going to tell you who's going to do it. The people you're looking at. Because if you don't do it, who else will do it? Who else can develop these relationships with these kids? Who else can do it? Who else can challenge them? Who else has a good enough relationship with them to challenge them to move from lower class norms to middle class norms so that they can be functional citizens of society? Who else can do it? I'm telling you, we are. We are. If we don't help some of these kids won't get help.